On this episode, I talk to you about debt management plans and whether or not you should file for bankruptcy. Stick with us to find out.
Joining us this morning is Edward Sanchez, president of Money Sharp.
Hey everybody, I'm Edward Sanchez. Welcome back to the Money Sharp Show, and we are now on episode number 18. All right. Let's start with debt management plans, which are also known as debt consolidation plans. Okay. And these type of structured plans, it's a repayment plan is what it is, or it's a pay down plan. They're delivered typically by credit counseling firms. Okay. So Money Sharp, my firm, is a credit counseling firm. But we are, in essence, the gas station that doesn't sell gas. Because I don't believe in these debt management plans. I don't believe in debt consolidation style plans. For this reason, okay? This is how the breakdown happens, okay? So you go to a credit counseling firm and you say, hey, listen, I've got all this debt and I've been working to pay it off and I just can't make any progress. Can you help me out here? So here are my bills, and maybe I'm hoping that you can negotiate a lower interest rate for me, because you're a big accredited credit counseling firm, right? You're the official guys, so maybe you can do this for me. Because little old me, I'm just a regular consumer. I don't have any power. So maybe you can lower the interest rate on my credit cards. Maybe you can negotiate a smaller payment for me, okay? Because that will give me the breathing room that I need. So I'm going to come to you, and I have this stack of bills, and I need help with this. And the credit counseling firm says, we can do that, no problem. We're going to take all your bills, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to create one monthly payment. Now, I'm going to tell you sincerely, for the majority of Americans, the problem is not that you have 8 people you have to pay, and that's too many for you to juggle or handle in your brain. That's not it. And if we just got 8 payments broken down into one, that life would be happy, and all of a sudden, you're good. You don't have any more problems. That's not the problem. The problem is that you can't handle multitasking, because I see some of you driving on your cell phones. You can handle multitasking, although not pretty. The problem is having the money every month to pay those 8 creditors. It's not that there's too many. It's that the money's mismanaged and getting to the point where you can manage that payment every month. Okay? So what does a credit counseling firm do? Typically, they're going to tell you to stop making payments on your creditors. Stop paying them. So you say, well, I don't want to ruin my credit. I don't want to hurt my credit. Well, that is going to hurt your credit immediately. Okay? But if Visa is getting your money, they're getting your monthly payment every month, month after month, on time, and you call them and you ask them for help, and they say, we can't help you because you're not behind, then you feel like you're in a catch-22. Like, they only help me if I fall behind, but I'm not behind and I'm trying to stay ahead in front of the 8 ball, but they're not going to offer me help. Well, the credit counseling firm is going to say, don't make any payments for 2 months, don't make any payments for 3 months. And what that does is creates leverage. Okay, so now the credit card company, when they see they weren't willing to work with you because they got your money last month and the month before, now they're ready to say, hey, listen, maybe we can put you in a different program, maybe we can put you on a certain path to get you back on and making those monthly payments. So now they're bendable. You've got leverage on them, and now they're willing to work something out with you via either lowering your interest rate or even lowering your minimum payment. Now, you and I both know that the name of the game here is not to lower that minimum payment, because it's not going to get you ahead. We want to stay at 4% of the balance always. So when somebody lowers your payment, you're paying it off slower. That's great for the credit card company, makes them more interest and more money, and you lose. It becomes a more expensive debt. So when you stop making payments, you stop sending them money, now they're more willing to work with you, and they're willing to negotiate. But they're not negotiating with you. They're negotiating with a credit counseling firm that's doing all this great work for you. So injury number 1, your credit's hurt. Injury number 2, they may not lower the interest rate, but here's the thing. They'll lock them into a payment plan. The credit counseling firm has to get paid for their services too. So if you go to them and you say, listen, I have $10,000 of credit card debt or bills that I need help with, and they say, okay, we'll help you, they don't tell you they're going to make it into a $13,000 problem. They just say, we're going to try to structure this out so it comes out to this much per month. But they're going to add their fees on too. And they want to eat first. Okay, so they're going to take the lion's share or a good lump sum of that amount and they're going to take it in-house first. They're going to get paid for their work. So your credit's getting damaged, your creditors aren't getting paid, they're getting more irate. They're not locked in legally, your creditors, into this payment plan. It's just whether or not they're willing to participate or play the game. They can back out. They can back out after you've sent 6, 8, 9, 10, 12 months of payments to the credit counseling firm on this debt management plan. They can back out and say, you know what, we're tired of slow pays. We're just going to send it to collections. We're going to write it off and sell the debt. So you don't have a lot of protection either. So what I see historically when clients come to us and they're trying to determine, they're taking financial education courses and they're on the brink and they're saying, why we've made payments with no progress, we're working 2 or 3 jobs. Why are we in this position? We tried debt management and that didn't work. I know why it didn't, because you added the cost of a service provider on top of your debt versus negotiating directly with your creditor, which you can. You have all the power. You entered into a contract, right, between the credit card company and yourself, and the negotiation is here. So now we're going to discuss what we can do, and I'm not going to, or you can get your manager or you can get somebody else on the phone, but I'm going to talk to somebody until we can figure out what the terms are going to be here. Because I'm trying to make my payments, I'm trying to pay this down, and I need, maybe it's as simple as just saying, hey, listen, if I agree to have you draft 6 consecutive payments, 6 months in a row from my bank account, if I give you my account information and you take 6 consecutive payments and they're all on time, can we work on lowering the interest rate? That's what I want. I don't want to lower the monthly payment because that's not the win, but I want to lower the interest rate, soften the blow. So debt management plans cost you a lot of money, they hurt your credit, and their success rate is garbage, okay? But they are very, very, very profitable for credit counseling firms. So that's why Money Sharp Credit Counseling, we don't offer them. I don't believe in them. There are other strategies you can do. So debt management plans, very low success rate. Have people been able to do them and come out of them successfully? Yes, very rare. So I want you to understand the ramifications, what comes behind that. You have to be an active person behind that plan. The second one, and the big one, and really all these questions I've been working with today are focused on debt solutions and what people are looking to do to avoid bankruptcy. So the big one is, should you file for bankruptcy? I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not giving you any legal advice, and I'm not telling you not to file, but I'll give you the measuring stick that we use to determine if someone should file for bankruptcy. If you're using the right strategies to pay down your debt, and I mean you're using proper strategies, and you can't pay off your debt in 3 years or less, then and only then would I recommend considering a bankruptcy or educating yourself about how a bankruptcy would work for you. I'm not saying I would recommend filing. I would say I would recommend learning about how bankruptcy could work for you. If you know that in 3 years or less you cannot pay yourself out, and I mean by busting your tail. Because the 3 years of payments, and I've seen this where someone will make payments with no progress and then they decide to file, they've lost 3 years of rebuilding. And you don't want to be in a position where you're 3 years back now. You could have ripped it off like a Band-Aid, filed then, and then have 3 years of rebuilding behind you. So you don't want to lose that. Sometimes it's a losing battle. You get hurt, and now you're on a fixed income, and you're not going back into the workforce. You're on Social Security disability. You'll never get more than $1,100 a month on your disability. Your rent's $800. Something's got to give. 3 years, you're not going to pay off whatever mountain of debt you've got in medical bills in a situation like that. So that's the benchmark to determine, for me, to determine if you should pick up the phone and start contacting a bankruptcy attorney to learn about your options, not necessarily to file. So that's what I'm going to leave you with. Debt management plans, not a high success rate, so I'm not a fan personally. And should you file, every case is specifically different, but you want to apply that rule and see how you fit within it. That's what I've got for you this episode. As always, I want to thank Dr. Wayne Dyer. May God bless your soul. I want to thank Anthony Robbins, and I want to thank Gary Vaynerchuk. Guys, leave the comments below. Let me know what's working. And don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next episode.
Make your money sharp.